Hi guys, boom, boom, boom. Welcome to another Dipuo Talks God conversations. My name is Dipuo, and yeah, I just started this. I don't know what to call it. Okay, yeah. So this is just out of obedience, and I just, yeah. If you know, you know, right? So just come back from school, and I am actually very exhausted. But also, guys, look at how cute my bowl is. I hope you guys can see it. It's so cute. But anyway, that's beside the point. I am digressing because yeah, so anyway, so today I just want to testify rather about how God has helped me thus far, how God has protected me thus far, and just share with you out of obedience and out of faith that God will do with this as He sees fit for His glory, right? So anyway, I heard a few things to help me keep on track. So I just want to speak about what has happened thus far and why I want to talk about why I want to share what God has done for me thus far. So my husband and I have been separated for 6 months now. I don't know, he officially moved out of our home on the 15th of May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Yeah, so it's been 6 months. But the breakdown of our marriage as we know it, or as we know it, or as I know it, started happening around about December, Jan, and around March. There were big changes, and the Lord gave me a word, He sort of prepared me for what was happening. And yeah, so now this was one of my biggest fears coming to pass, because I thought should something like this happen in my marriage, I'm probably gonna go to a KESO. So a KESO is a clinic that help people with mental health, right? Because I thought I'm gonna go crazy, I'm going to lose my mind. And 6 months in, and hey, God has kept me sane, God has kept me hopeful, God has kept me encouraged, God has kept me in the race. He's really kept me in the course of my life journey, and I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful. So before I go into what happened, I don't know if I should go into what happened, the Holy Spirit will lead. But so I struggled for a long time with abandonment issues. I think I started with that from age 6 till I was 30. And for me, so abandonment issues, let me read what I wrote. Abandonment issues is a strong fear of losing loved ones or of them leaving you. All right. This fear for me was a result of a lie that I believed from the age of 6 till I was 30. I believed that my mom abandoned me by leaving me in Joburg to get a better future. Right. And the reason I say that is that so I grew up I was born and I was raised for my formative years in Limpopo, and I went to preschool there, and I went to preschool I think when I was 4, and I started grade 1 when I was 5 in Limpopo. And my mom is a teacher, and at that time she was working in a different village, and she stayed in that village and only came home on the weekends. My dad was in Joburg, and so I wasn't living with my parents full time, but I was living with my maternal grandparents. And when I moved to Joburg, the story had always been I thought my mom just one day took me from a stable environment and just thrusted me in Joburg, where a lot of things happened that caused me a lot of trauma. But I think God has allowed this season of my life to happen so He can almost take me back and show me that He was with me all along, so yeah. So I believe that story for the longest time. I just believe that my mom uprooted me, because I don't remember saying goodbye to my parents. I don't remember leaving home as I knew it to come to this big city. Anyway, yeah. So it was up until I went to therapy, and one day my therapist asked me, how did I get to live in Joburg? And I was blank and I didn't know. And I said, my mom just dumped me. And she looked at me and she said, that's what you think, but I don't think that's what happened. And then she gave me homework to just speak to my parents and find out from them how I came to live in Joburg. And long story short is that my mom was pregnant with my middle brother, who's now late, and it was the holidays, and she had come to Joburg with me, and just to be with her man and everything, and they had just got a new house, and they were building a life together while she was waiting for her transfer in terms of job, to move her from Limpopo to Joburg. So while I was there, I was a very forward child. I was very forward. I get bored easily, so they wanted to keep me busy and everything. And my dad's best friend at the time spoke about Fontaine Montessori, I think that's what it was called at the time, that they actually have a holiday program where you can send your kids and whatever. So he organized that, and I went to school. And at this time, I think I was 5. Yeah, I was 5. I was in grade 1. And I went to that school, and the teachers were impressed with just my retention skills and all of those things. And they were just like, the only problem is this girl does not know English, but we believe that if we can have her for 6 months, she will catch on and she will be fluent in this language. Because also at that time I was still very young, and it's much easier apparently for small kids to learn additional languages. Okay, fine, no problem. They did that, and my parents then in that moment decided that, hey, our child is thriving here. My dad was like, just leave her here, and we are planning to get everyone back in Joburg, so let's just start here. So that's how I got to leave home. So when I left home, my maternal grandparents' home, the plan wasn't for me to stay in Joburg, but as I was in Joburg and all those things unfolded, my parents then decided that it would be best for me to stay and continue schooling in Joburg and. So for the longest time, I believed that my mom just dumped me because she was just so interested in her career, and so that was a lie from the pit of hell. That, oh my gosh, that was the biggest lie, and getting to know that truth was a total game changer for me. But anyway, fast forward now, I get married, and and we're happy and everything, and things begin to change in our marriage. Our marriage takes a sharp curve. Hey, it takes a sharp curve, and I find myself abandoned, right? I find myself in a separation, and sure, that was that was hard. I say, it was hard now because I think I'm much better. I am Mudumu berekile, guys. Mudumu berekile. The Lord has kept me. The Lord has protected me. The Lord has provided for me. The Lord has helped me. And so there was just a lot of things going on. With the separation with my husband. I was so fearful to say, oh my gosh, very what's going on? How am I gonna cope? How am I gonna still live in this place and maintain this place? How am I just gonna do life with this guy? And throughout the whole process, one thing God has revealed to me and taught me is that people will leave. People will leave you. People will cease to support you. That is the inevitable part of life, and the thing is, you cannot change this, you cannot stop that. At some point, people will leave you, whether it is by choice or whether they're gonna die, people will leave, because we're not sent on earth to live forever, So at some point you will lose people. At some point you will feel abandoned. But in those moments when you feel abandoned, you need to remember that God will never leave you nor forsake you. God will be there for you, and He will protect you, and He will help you. He will send His resources to help you carry on living out whatever it is that He's created and called you to live, right? So yeah, I just literally, it's been an amazing 6 months in terms of I've gotten to grow in my intimate relationship with God, and man, the Lord has kept me. Like, guys, I'm not losing my mind, and I just wish I could have my friends here to like come and say, or like, I actually thought that should this happen, there are 3 things that I always said, if these 3 things should happen, so like, and to get to witness God do that, keep me in sound mind, keep me protected, because it's been a hard 6 months, like, in as much as like, I've had God and like I've found the beauty of the 6 months. It's been a hard 6 months. I had a lot of spiritual attacks, like bagugningi, and like, thank the Lord being a one. Thank the Lord that He was with me, that He protected me, that He revealed things to me, that He prepared me, that He helped me, that He provided for me. So like, yeah, basically I'm just sharing this to say, like, if you are in a season where you feel abandoned, if you're in a season where you feel like you are left alone, I want to reassure you that you are not alone. God is with you, and He is ready, and He is willing, and He is well able to protect you, and He's well able to provide for you, and He's well able to help you, and I pray that, He may make His presence felt right now, like that you may feel His tangible presence, that you may begin to see that He is with you, and for you for Him rather to use this time to develop an intimate relationship with you, so that you can really like get to experience the care of the Lord, that you get to experience the help of the Lord, that you get to experience the protection and the provision of the Lord in a way that you've never experienced it. Yeah, so that's just the long and short of it. I'm just here to encourage someone to draw near to the Lord. He is there, He is ready, He is willing, and He is well able to be there for you. You are not alone. I know it feels like you're alone. I know it just feels like He's not, I need a tangible physical person. Believe you me, He can make His presence tangible to you. Because I remember there was a time I got a lot of support. Like, I really got a lot of support from like my family and my friends, and but there were moments where I have to go to bed and I'd be alone. The weekends where my family was not available, my friends were committed, and I had to sit, and like, in those moments I did feel lonely. I did feel like, oh my gosh, everyone's life is moving on, everyone's just, as it should. And there were moments where I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so abandoned. And the Lord would remind me that you are not abandoned. I'm with you. You just need to take a moment to acknowledge my presence, take a moment to see my help, take a moment to see my protection, take a moment to see my provision. So I know it's tough, and I'm really praying that in this season where you do feel abandoned, where you do feel lonely, that you may begin to feel the presence of the Lord, that you may begin to see the presence of the Lord, the provision of the Lord, the protection of the Lord, and the help of the Lord, because He is with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you, and I am evidence of that. Like, He has never left me, He has never forsaken me, but He has comforted me. He has carried me on days that were so hard, and I just couldn't even reach out to my support structures or my support systems, because I just felt like, also girl, people have lives and but He has been there from day one, and He is still here, and He's available to you too. And I just pray that you may be willing to learn His voice, willing to learn His presence, willing to acknowledge that He is there with you. But yeah, anyway, I don't know who this is for. I don't know what I'm just here to share like Ebenezer. Today it is the 21st of November, and Lord, you have kept me, you have helped me, you have protected me. I give you all the glory, I give you all the praise, for you alone are worthy. But yeah, anyway, if you do feel like you're in that season, please drop your name in the comment section, and I will I just want to stand in prayer for you. Like, I want to gossip about you. That basically means I just want to talk to God about you, And yeah, anyway, thanks for coming. to watch, to listen, and I hope it does this. I hope this does whatever it is that God intends for it to do. Anyway, peace and love. God loves you. He loves you so much, and He's well able and He's willing to express His love to you. Alrighty, I gotta go to Bible study. Good night.